Previously on Project Pro Gamer, Matty announced the ridiculous idea that he has entered himself as a wildcard entry for this year's Nissan GT Sport Cup in Barcelona, and we learned that he may have some work to do on his fitness.
Wow, I've never seen a man shake so much. And again, the feet are now ugly as well, so I can only count proper reps, so I can't start yet.
On this week's episode, with only 3 weeks to go, Matty finds out what driver training exercises esports drivers go through to help their brake application, improve their reaction times and their peripheral vision.
Behold, my first obstacle of the day, the braking test. And it was actually pretty interesting. It not only recorded my reactions to braking at a particular point, but also tested on my brake application and whether or not I could follow a braking pressure curve that was set for me to try and match. The brake itself had different settings in terms of how much you wanted to brake my leg when pressing down on it. Unfortunately, it wasn't on the hardest setting when I was undergoing the full assessment. Otherwise, this happened.
Oh no. Oh! Oh my god!
Overall, I achieved an average score of 85% for my braking accuracy, which is actually pretty good, I've been told, unless they were just trying to make me feel better about myself, of course. The start reactions test was much simpler to understand, but was slightly more complex than the simple 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so here's the analysis of my reaction test. You can see I had the 6 goes there. I was kind of slow at the start, 0.36. Did a pretty decent go on round 4, which was under 0.3, and you kind of want to aim as an average to get to the low 0.3s and even high 0.2s is really good. So something to work on there. And then it's RPM when lights turn green, so I was told to aim for 6,500 revs, which surprisingly I got on round 4 when it's supposed to be the multitasking side. So interesting that was my quickest reaction time. And then at the bottom it just says RPMs away from the target of 6,500. So not too bad. Hoping maybe we can get better as we go along.
Time to strap on my futuristic eye-tracking glasses and shoot track my eyes. But before that, check how unbelievably smooth I am getting into the simulator.
Ah! So here we go, eye tracking time. I'm kind of concerned as to where I look, because clearly professional racing drivers probably look in a different parts of the track than I do, but it'll be interesting to see what that looks like and where I should be looking. At least I'm not looking down here, I am actually focused on the track.
How was that with the eye tracker?
I don't know, I just feel like where I'm looking is probably wrong, because I'm pretty sure the normal human being doesn't look in the same places that racing drivers do.
So, and we could see that on the eye tracker footage there, that we're definitely, low and late. So that means we're just a little bit behind the action, really.
So there
most drivers, they train their peripheral vision and their historical knowledge to kind of do the hard bit.
Yeah.
And the direct vision's given the easy bit of driving in a straight line.
Right.
So we need to try and blip that as we can. But of course, it's not something that will happen quickly. Because if it was easy, you'd already be doing it.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say we typically live our lives in this space just here. So all the years at school, riding at a school desk, eating your dinner, on your laptop, on your mobile phone.
You don't do that in peripheral vision, do you?
So really we're training, our peripheral vision to kind of connect with everything that's out here.
The footage you're seeing on screen is from Kevin Magnussen's simulator session from 2014. What I found absolutely crazy was where exactly his eyes are focusing, which you can see by the red cross hatching. Where most people would be looking to braking markers or the apex of the corner they are about to face, Kevin is already looking to the exit of the corner or already towards the next one. According to driver training experts, having the corner you're about to face in your peripheral vision, the blurry stuff you see, and the exit of the next corner as your absolute focus helps you to prepare more readily for what is about to come, something I found extremely difficult to adapt to. Not only was I lucky enough to get an insight into how an F1 driver prepares, I also spent some time with 2 extremely quick GT Sport drivers to run me through the little tips and tricks I'll need to adapt to quickly for when it comes to the wildcard competition in Barcelona. Oh, and has anyone noticed the stupid face I pull every time I brake? It's literally every single time.
So I finished driver training for today. The eye tracking thing absolutely blew my mind. I feel like I've made a few steps today. Next week will be interesting because I'm focusing on the psychology, so that my mind and my mental state, and I feel like that's probably the thing that would need the most improvement, because I can get quite frustrated quite easily if I don't start to make improvements or I'm not the fastest. So stay tuned, next week that will be it, and until then, until I get forced out of this simulator, I'll see you later.